Sugar beets are one of the most profitable crops you'll ever grow on your farm, but they do take absolutely forever to actually harvest and grow them and stuff like that. So in this video I'm going to explain how you can do it, best practices, and what gives you more value for your money. So with any crop, the first thing you need to do is till your fields. If you're unsure on how to do that, then follow my beginner's guide. Ignore the rolling section. With this one we did stone pick because we limed at a later stage because we had to mulch the crop that was already established in the ground, and it pained me to do it because it was harvestable wheat and we mulched right through it. In hindsight we could have just harvested, but we don't work in hindsight here. But now that we've got the field bed that we need to plant, we're going to look at some pointers. So step number 2, you're going to go into your vehicles list in your shop menu and you're going to go down to planters. As you can see down at the bottom, you can see that there is sugar beets in there. That is the logo. So since we've only done a 50% fertilization state, I kind of want one with some fertilizer, but I want a decent sized one. And I mean, that one's looking beautiful, but that's liquid fertilizer. How would you do that? 9 meters wide, why not? 180 horsepower required. Looks big enough. So let's get a tractor to go with it. And we're going to go with our beautiful Axion. And just to be on the safe side, I'm probably going to put a weight on it because it looks pretty big. Right, so here we are at the shop. So this one, it has 2 hitches. Believe it or not, it's got a transportation hitch and then a utility hitch. So this is the hitch that we're going to need in order to transport it to our farm. But we are going to need some fertilizer as well as some other things. So we're going to need some seeds. Off we go, maybe 3 bags. And then fertilizer, maybe 2 bags. And then we're just going to load it all up in there. So we needed less than a bag. Select the right crop, which is sugar beets. And then we're just going to add the fertilizer. So yeah, sugar beets is expensive, but it is extremely worth it. You get like 54,000 litres per hectare, something like that. It's quite radical. Hey, look at that, the perfect amount of solid fertilizer. Just going to line him up with the edge of the field, and then we're going to go over to this hitch here, and then we're going to have to fold it just so the wheels will point in the right direction. Lower it down and begin our journey once activating. And planting is actually a pretty quick process and the texture looks awesome. So the planting has now been finished, and we're just going to move this over here. Let's just swing him out and get rid of the planter. Right, so the difference between the potatoes and the sugar beets, they're both root crops, but this one will need rolling as a thing because that'll give us an extra 3%. Well, I think it's 2.5, but I think it just rounds up or down as and when it feels like it. It will be raining soon, so we kind of need to hurry up and get this sorted. Right, so we've got this big mother hula of a roller, and yeah, it is absolutely a ridiculous size, especially for this field. But nonetheless, we're going to roll this field. I mean, I want to get it done as quickly as possible, but yeah, rolling is self-explanatory. It compacts the soil down to make better soil to seed contact. Right, so the rolling is now completed, and yeah, should be 100%, fingers crossed. Yes, absolutely is. So I hate the sound of them bees. I don't even have bees, like why do they keep coming up to this field? Anyway, right, so now we just got to wait for it to germinate, establish itself, and we're just waiting until harvest, which is all the way in October, as we can see over here. So now we're in October, it is ready to harvest. It doesn't say it's ready to harvest, it says remove foliage, which if we go down to the root crop technology, we can find the sugar beet technology. In this menu. Right, here we are. So there's going to be sugar beet harvesters, sugar beet headers, and then beet loading. It's kind of fun to load actually, I really like it. So here's the beet harvesters. So this is the Halm Tucker. Yes, it's the Halm Tucker. The Halm Topper. This will, as the name of the thing, the defoliator. Amateur, you've named this perfectly. So this you'll just attach to the back of your tractor, require 215 horsepower, which our tractor will pull. It's not expensive. And I mean 97,000 is quite expensive. And this will just remove all the foliage on top, so all the greenery it'll remove. And then we'll use something like this, which will just dig up the sugar beets from the ground, put it into a relatively small tank, it's 6.5 litres, and then you can just unload it onto a trailer or just dump it on the ground. It's entirely up to you, however you want to do it. Or you can go with the big beast, and you can remortgage your house several times in order to afford one of these. And this one is pretty decent, the light tracks. Pretty good capacity with 18.5 cubic meters. But it's, again, it's like it's a very high yielding crop, so we want something that'll maximise things. Now, you could probably say that one because it's got 45,000 litre capacity, but you struggle there because you've got 2.7 metres work width. You can deduct the 2,000 litre capacitor, and you've pretty much doubled your entire work width. So we're going to go with a roper. It's a little more expensive, only by about 100 grand. Oh no, it's only 14 grand more expensive. I can live with that. I mean, considering the price that you're paying for this equipment, it's absolutely pennies, really. And these come with independent headers. So, yeah, let's load these up. So what we're going to do now, there's several ways that we can do sugar beets. So once we've got a full trailer, we can, well, a full tank. If I can get... Whose idea was it to do this? Here we go. Right. So, we can either dump them on the ground, like you would in real life, or load them directly to a trailer for processing purposes, or selling purposes. Who am I to judge you? But yeah, we're going to unfold it. Right, so the general rule of thumb is around about 5 to 6 headlands. So what I tend to do is I like to go down once. So we just go all the way down here. I like to go in first person for this crop because it's got the little nibble, and replace the bees with a P, and that's what I would tend to call it. And that's sort of like your crop guide. So that's the central point. I like to go 3 rows either side, and onwards we go. It can do 4 rows, but sometimes it messes up and doesn't actually pick up the sugar beet from that side. So I like to just ensure that I'm picking up everything. Right, so we're coming towards the end now, and this thing is going to be a nuisance. So let's just remove him from the entire field, because he's going to get on my nerves over here. So let's just pick him up and yeet him. There we go, bye bye helicopter. That actually went a lot further than he expected. Where did he actually end up? He's still going. It's irrelevant now. Right, so the good thing about root crops is that they are indestructible. So you don't really need to worry about destroying crops if you've got crop destruction on. Unless you get tornadoes, like which happened to me on 2 separate occasions. So yeah, now that we've gone to the bottom, I tend to do this 5 times. So I'll go up, and then down, up, down, up, and then continue up towards the top. Let's just minimise that map. Because we have a much better turning circle here than we would going up and down. So why not just do the 5 while we're here? And it's the shortest section too. I hate how sluggish this machine is. But yeah, it looks like we had a tornado. Oh yeah, I had a couple of tornadoes because we got another patch up there as well. But hopefully not too much damage done. Yeah, it's quite a significant amount of damage, but we've already done 11,000 litres. We've hardly scraped the surface of this. This just goes to show the yield. So we get like 57,000 litres or 54,000 litres per hectare with this, but that's at 0% fertilisation state, so we're going to be looking at about 120,000 litres just off this one field. Because we got Right, so we're finished with the 5 headlands now. As we can see in the window, we've got a pretty big gap and we've got enough for this to fit in quite comfortably. So now we can just go up and down and not need to worry about room. I still like to do this in first person because visibility here is absolutely shocking. That's to play like GTA 3, well GTA 2. Or you can go inside and you can get a good depth of field. And you just have a much easier time with harvest. Like, that's my golden rule, just go first person with root crops. Because they're all in unison, going up the field, they're all in rows. So you can't really go wrong unless you're a noob like me, who will probably go wrong during this harvest. Right, so now we're up to 84% capacity. So what we're going to do now is we've got a nice wide open space here. So I don't really want it to go into the road, so we're just going to park up along the headland. And we're just going to manually unload the sugar beets here. And eventually they'll drop. And yeah, there's a reason why I'm doing this. This is what you would do in real life as well. Because this is just the way sugar beets are. Now I don't want it to go into the road like it is doing here. I'll probably have to have 2 locations on this field, it is quite small. But yeah, there we go, that's that done, and there's more about this later. Right, so we are now coming up to the end of our sugar beet harvest. We just got a little strip here that we somehow managed to miss, but we'll soon grab a hold of that and take it on our merry way to our dumping pit. Now I said I may need 2 separate dumping stations, and it doesn't look like I will actually. We got a bunch of stuff and I'm not afraid to use it, I guess. But here's another money kicker. So we just spent like 700 grand on the harvester for this, and now we've got another like 300,000 that we need to spend. Because we've got to get ourselves our little loading doodah. Yeah, now comes the more expensive part. If you've got to spare 370,000 euros or whatever currency you're using, then you can get this big conveyor system. Now this is dedicated to sugar beets. It's found here, the rope at mile 5. And what this will do is directly load the sugar beets onto a trailer for you. Now you might be thinking to yourself, you know what, there's actually no purpose to this. You could just fill it directly from the harvester, and you can. But the actual, what's it called, auger or whatever you want to call it, from the harvester is not massive. So if you wanted to load it onto a high capacity trailer, you might not be tall enough. Whereas this, you've got an adjustable height, you can move it wherever you want. There's a counterbalancing weight that will move alongside with you. So yeah, and you can also move the entire thing over as well. So if you want to move it over here, you can load it in on itself. Well, you can't do it. Oh, you could actually. Let's load it back onto the header and just make an infinite loop of sugar beets. I'm joking, that wouldn't actually work. But yeah, this is a fun piece of equipment. So let's get ourselves, I don't know, 2 trucks I guess. Here's another expense. You talk about 100 grand per truck unless you want to go for the international. I personally like this truck. I think it's a real nice truck. Get 2 of these. And then we're going to get ourselves 2 of these, because this is the only one that will accept sugar beets. Right, so with the trucks all lined up and ready, we can start loading the sugar beets into here. And hopefully we'll be on around about 120,000 litres. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Who knows? Not me, I'm not a doctor, I'm just adopted. Right, so now that that's done, we've got our 2 trailers. So now we've got to figure out where we're going to sell them. So yeah, we just got shy of 120,000 litres, which is kind of expected. We did lose some crop. But now it's time to find the best selling price, which is over here. Go to prices, go down to sugar beets, which is here. So next month is the best price. So let's go ahead and skip to next month. Right, so we're actually on the correct month now, on the correct crop. and it says that farmers market is paying higher, well, it's paying lower than Ellengrat, but once you take into consideration the rental of the trains, as usual, we always opt for farmers market. So let's tag that place. And for some reason I can't seem to escape this. Okay, we're here. Right, so we're heading over to the farmers market now, and yeah, we're going to be pretty profitable. We've got another trailer load coming in too. So we've got 33,000 from that trailer. We've got a full trailer coming in, so it's going to be what, 34,000 maybe, so it'll be around about 67,000 litres, 67,000 euros that we get from this. So yeah, another 33,900, which brings it total to around about 37,000, whereas our finances. Let's scroll all the way down, and yeah, 67,000 as we expected. Right here. But that's only scraping the surface of what's available, because your profits can exceed that exponentially with Sugar Beets, and this is how we do it. Right, and now for my next trick, we're going to need a build menu, because this one doesn't have the feature that we want, and we're going to go down to factories, and we're going to find the sugar mill. Here it is in all of its glory, and we're just gonna, I don't know, I'll probably put it around about here. There we are, and then we're just gonna soften off that ground. Doesn't want to soften for some reason, we'll work it out. Right, anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, softening doesn't work over there for some reason, but we are just gonna dump all of our sugar beets in here. Now, the sugar does have a pretty high selling price, I'm not gonna lie. It's not massive, but it's a bit of an improvement over the last product that we sold, which was the actual sugar beets themselves. So let's go all the way down to sugar. So here's sugar, 1,500 litres, Jesus Christ, that's a lot more than I expected. That is a hell of a lot more than I expected. So let's go ahead and dump all of this into our sugar mill. There's the first truckload going in. Let's go ahead and set that to activate. So we can do sugar beets, could do sugar beets cut, or we can do sugar cane. So I think this can hold 450,000 litres, 360,000 litres. Okay. So it can hold like 3 hectares worth of sugar beets, which isn't bad. We do 1 hectare per year. We're keeping it tapped up nicely. Anyway, time to add another expense. So we've already got our trucks, so we don't need to add that expense, but we do need to add a semi-trailer in the lines of the profit liner. We could go low loader, we could do anything we want to, but we're going to go with this one. You're going to just drop this down here. Yeah, we're getting 3 pallets a month, we've got 96,000 litres left. Yeah, it's not going to last too many months, but the sugar pallets are looking nice. So we could buy a forklift. I'm just going to super strength it because I can't be bothered. Let's plonk him here. So we ended up with 60,000 litres of sugar, which is not a bad amount. It's like sort of divided it by 5. We do have some more in here, but it's just a yeah. So yeah, you get just over half of sugar from what you get from your beets. And yeah, 60,000 litres ain't too bad, so let's have a look at the highest market value for that. So let's have a look at sugar. We're looking at July, so let's go over to July. Right, so now we are in July. Hi, so 24,586. Bakery is offering a ton of money yet again, so let's go straight down to the bakery. Let's just snag that deal while it's available. Move all the way over there, and let's just unload. I'll open up so we can see what we're selling. Remove the tension belts, and there we are, 96,000 litres. So we've got an extra 30 grand for that. Extremely worth it if you feel like paying how much you were paying for the sugar mill. I didn't even actually take that into account. Where's our sugar mill? Sugar mill was 36. No, that's 36,000. That can't be right. 240,000 seems more realistic. So yeah, that's not actually, it's not like massive hit for your buck really. You get your bang for your buck, sure, should I say. So yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. It's actually the first time I've ever said, you know what, it actually might be worth it. So for my final trick, you are going to need a front loader. So we're going to go with Kubota because it has the highest density. And we're going to get ourselves the Fire Gold Ruby. This one will cook the sugar beets for us. It does 2,300 litres per bucket, but we're not interested in that. Right, so an easier way to do this and less time consuming way to do this is to get an auger wagon. So if we go up to the trailer section and we get the dedicated sugar beet auger, wherever it may be, there we are. So we're going to get this one. It requires 300 horsepower, so not too big of a tractor. Get the voucher. Right, so we're just finishing up now with the sugar beets. And yeah, they're pretty much done now. But now the long job is getting them off the ground. Okay, so everything is on the floor now, all of our cut sugar beets. Now hopefully, by description this said it can pick it all up. Oh, it is. I was beginning to disbelieve it for a minute then. Right, there we go, so that's done. Everything's sorted. Now, for this one, we are going to need a beautiful product known as the BGA, also known as the BGA. 1 megawatt, 2.13 million. So that's draining pretty much all of our cash. And just to be on the safe side, we are going to drain all of our cash too. So remove money, minus, let's go 2 million. And then let's go minus 384,584. And there we are, we're at 0. So what we're going to do now is, I mean, this trailer does not like being pulled by this tractor for some reason. Right, so we've finally made it to the BGA, or coming up to the weighing station. Are we going to be wide enough? That's the big issue. It's nothing to do with the weight. Oh no, we've got through there. Now it's time to tip it. But this is the reason why I set it to 0, because every single month we are going to get something fantastic. Now hopefully this will give us what we want. Now we're going to put a little bicycle, oh, not enough money. Okay, we're going to transport over. I just realised we've not activated anything, so yeah, we're in the minuses. I'm used to doing it. Cut sugar beets, turn on. Right, now let's skip a month. So the most money we got for everything was like 90,000, was it? 90? Yeah, I think it was 93,000, something like that. So now we're going to see how much we're going to get for 1 month with using cut sugar beets at the BGA. We've got 18,000. Not bad. How much is that used? Can't be a great deal, absolutely not. So let's go ahead and skip forward until we run out of sugar beets. Right, so we've earned 91,640. We have run out of sugar beets. But we do have 106,000 litres of digestate, which we can turn into slurry to produce it further. So let's look at doing that. There we are. Right, so we're going to be loading all of this in. And this is going to give us more slurry, but I'm not going to do it once because I mean, I can't really bother doing it twice. And the unloading speed is absolutely diabolically slow. So as we can see here, we've got 4,000, 5,000 litres of slurry. It's just going to keep going up and up and up and up, but again, the unload speed is awful. So let's skip to when we finished it. So we're filling it back up with all the slurry that we've earned from the digestate, and I can't see that being much, but it's looking good. So, okay, so 31,871 litres. So we've got to go ahead and just throw that back in the BGA, skip forward a few months and see how that goes. And then we're going to determine the winner. So from Sugar Beets alone it was 91,000. If we had all the stuff on top, without having to purchase it, can we unload it here? Oh, there we are, slurry station. I hate the brake force on this, but okay, it's working now. So we're pumping the slurry back into the BGA. Pump it all back into the BGA. And we're going to see a difference here now. So I'm going to remove all the money that we do have, so 19,115, let's remove that. 19,115, and then that brings us down to 0. So we've got 91,000, plus whatever this is going to give us. And I can't see it giving us a great deal, but it just depends on how much biomass or biogas this slurry produces. Got 3,000 litres left. Hopefully it's a good amount. Right, we're done. Right, so let's skip. And I think this is only going to last us like a month or two. So let's skip. Skip. There we are, 25 grand on top. And there's, I mean, we've got 28,000 litres of digestate, but that's not going to really give us much slurry. So yeah, that would have given us about 118,000 litres, 119,000 litres. So in conclusion, what's your best production point? Would it be the BGA? You do get more physical cash for the BGA and it's less maintenance, but I would say that the true value is in the sugar mill because it's only 260,000 to start up rather than the 2.3 million it was to purchase, and the price difference is very, very, very small. You want to get an extra 10-20 grand for the BGA when the sugar mill will cost you less. Now, the BGA will open up more opportunities to earn money, and you can earn a few $100,000 per month as a result of it. But if you talk about just Sugar Beets, then I'd definitely go with the sugar mill because it's only, what, 10-20 grand less, and it's about 90% cheaper. So if you are one of those 99.7% of people that aren't subscribed, why not just give that button a little bit of a tickle and give the video a like as well, and I will see you all in the next tutorial.